And it was like the very first time at first, where it came through my door, and it glided across the room, and then it goes out the wall beside my bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, you need to leave. You're not allowed to be here. Go away. There was nothing for like a couple seconds, and then all of a sudden I see the back of a head enter the wall from below the window. So it comes out of the wall. I see black hair this time, not blonde. And it looks wet, and it's like just hanging down because it's like a sideways head.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's turning around, and it shows me its face.
Ooh.
And it had these laser dot eyes that were just like bright red. Its face was like void, like you were looking into infinity nothing.
Wow.
And then this big, wide Cheshire cat smile of these really long, narrow needle teeth.
Damn, son.
It was creepy as hell.
How did you react to it?
I rebuked it in the name of Jesus.
And did it leave after that?
It pulled its head right back out the wall, and I never saw it again.
They said the truth was buried deep in files they tried to burn. David's on the mic now, it's the people's turn. From shadow men in black to creatures in the mist, he's cracking open secrets that the government dismissed. Spooky lights above us, he's tracking every blink. Aliens, cryptids, yeah, he's making you think. With a journal full of clues and a wild-eyed hunch, he's talking ghost towns, lost time, Bigfoot's lunch. Old Dayvid don't know, but he's looking for the code on a long dark road where the weird ones go. Mics stay hot when the stories unfold, digging through the static for the truth untold. From pyramids on Mars to sounds in the night, he's chasing after whispers just beyond the light. Tinfoil hat, nah, it's a crown for the bold. Turn the dial up, these tales don't grow old.
Welcome back to Dayvid Don't Know. I'm your host, David. If you didn't know that, now you do. Oh, doesn't that sound like somebody we know? Yeah, that's right. I said it. Today I have Chucky Danger in the house. God, I love that name. I saw him on Kevin's show, which is what I'm referencing if you didn't get it, where the weird ones are. And this guy is legit. He's legit. He's a Canadian. I just finished telling him not even 10 seconds ago, I love Canadians. I do. I love Canadians, man. Canadians are my favorite. Although I'll say this about, because I'm a rideshare driver, right? I picked up 2 Mounties from Canada. They're married to each other, which was cool. And they had spent some time in San Antonio already, and I was taking them to SeaWorld or wherever. And they were like, you guys are so nice in San Antonio. I'm like, what, really? Like, yes, you guys are so nice here. I said, I thought Canadians were nice. You guys are nice. They're like, no, not like this. These people, we were stranded somewhere, and some Texans came up, some San Antonians came by and helped us out, and we didn't expect that. You wouldn't find that in Canada. I'm like, come on, y'all are nice. Come on. But yeah, I love Canadians. They're my favorite. Also Americans, I guess. No, just kidding. Well, let me bring him out. His name is Chucky Danger. Here he comes. Yay! What's up, Chuck?
Oh, about to get in some weird shit.
Yeah. Man, thank you for joining me, Chucky. How did you get that name, man? Give me some.
Now, that's a story of its own, because it was a nickname that I earned. So that actually came from a near-death experience.
Oh my God, we got to talk about this. Okay.
Yeah. So I was working in a construction crew when I was 19, and we were building a big water treatment facility down on a beach. And we had already poured these 35-foot high walls for the reservoir. And we were doing some form work inside of the walls. So we had to use a crane and a concrete bucket to do the pours for that. So I was down on the floor doing this pour with my supervisor. and everyone else was working on the formwork for the next section we were going to build. So it was like just a small concrete pour.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the crane operator up on the wall kind of moving everything along for us. So in between lifts, I was talking to my supervisor, and all of a sudden he just yells, "Chuck, hit the deck."
Oh, wow.
And I didn't hesitate or nothing, and I went completely prone on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And this 3-ton concrete bucket goes zooming over top of me. And you just hear it over the top of my hard hat. And if I had not hit the deck when he said, I would have been smushed.
Oh, wow, man.
So I show up on the job site the next day, and all the carpenters are like, "Hey, it's Chucky Danger." It's like, yeah, I like the sound of that.
Well, it's a great name for a podcast, for a podcaster for sure.
Oh,
For
yeah.
absolutely sure. So hold the NDE because I want to talk about that. I've been actually, and I'm sure you haven't seen this, but on my Instagram page, Dayvid Don't Know, I ask for an NDE. I'm like, hey, is there anyone out there that has a story about near-death experiences? I would love to talk to that person and figure out blah blah blah. And so I got one guy, and I could not understand what he was saying. He was leaving me voice notes, and I was like, oh my god, I can't understand what he's saying.
Oh,
So-
that's unfortunate.
It is, man. And he left like 6 of them. I'm like, I couldn't understand one word. It's crazy. But I have a paranormal story for you, Chucky. Let me share it with you. It's from Og, UK. She's a lovely lady, very nice lady. She's sent me a story. She sent me 2, but I'm going to read one of them on this episode. And this is called Her Dream. So she said her dad had passed away 3 days before this episode, and she was heartbroken. She was 35 at the time. She says, he was my best friend, and growing up, he took me everywhere with him. So she went to bed as normal. She said she couldn't get to sleep as the tears kept falling. She shouted out, "Please let me know you're okay," to her dad, who was passed, right? Eventually, she fell asleep. She said she had a dream that she saw a shaft of light coming from the outside wall onto the floor in the corner of the room. In her dream, she got up and went over to the corner of the room, stood in the light where the next thing she was floating out of the house. She says she remembers seeing the place that she worked at, and she continued flying over the whole town, basically. The next thing, I was surrounded by a whirl of light, which was like a long golden tunnel. And in this tunnel was a diamond-shaped glass, which as you passed them, they moved and made the sound of wind chimes. Eventually, she got to the end of the tunnel, but it was covered by a dark film. She stopped and touched it, and when she did that, it drifted away. In front of her, she says, was the most amazing green hills, a stream of flowers. Everything glistened and was so bright. As she peered at this garden, she saw her dad. He sat on a bench feeding the birds, which were pure white and surrounding him. She went towards him, but the tunnel had like a clear film now stopping her. So she shouted, "Dad, Dad." He turned and looked at her, gave her the biggest smile and waved. She waved back and shouted, "Are you okay?" Then whoosh, she was immediately back. She opened her eyes, but it wasn't in bed. She was standing in the exact corner where she was dreaming about the light.
Whoa. That is actually pretty interesting.
That is, I'm like, at first I thought, okay, well, this is clearly a dream, right?
I think that's probably an astral projection.
It's possible. How is she standing? Like, is that like what is that? Sleepwalking or something? And,
Sleepwalking, yeah.
I mean,
that's a weird bit of it, because usually when you astral project, you don't move.
Yeah.
But having that sleepwalk right into the corner,
could you move and still astral project? We need to ask JJ about this.
That's a good question.
Has she shown you how to astral project?
I mean, roughly.
I'm okay, but she's in trouble, man, because she told me she's not going to teach me how to do this.
It's not for the faint of heart, for sure.
Well, I do have half a heart, so that's true. So she says it was a profound dream,
Yeah.
or was it a dream? She says, had my grief actually given me a chance to see my dad and to know he was okay?
I think there's more to dreams than what people give dreams credit for, and not all dreams are the same. So there's different kinds of experiences you can have.
Mr.
And
Chucky Danger.
this sounds actually very familiar to something that I've experienced before too.
Oh, tell me, bro.
So a few years ago, I had one of my best friends in the world die in a car accident.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And, you know, our friend group, we were all like brothers. So like this was devastating. And a couple of us have reported to each other that we've wanted to know if he's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had dreams where he's been there. He's been in our dreams. And
Wow.
just like this woman's dream, you can see the person, you can interact with them, but they can't speak to you.
Oh,
For some reason, he's never able to speak to us,
Mm-hmm.
but he always gives you the biggest smile.
Oh.
So
So he's good. He's good.
yeah, definitely. One time I had a dream. Actually, I was trying to learn how to astral project. Funny enough. So when I first got into that, I was just going off the rails, going by internet instructions. Okay.
Mm.
So trying things, had a weird experience. And then I had this dream. And in this dream, it was like a house party, like when we were younger. He's there, and I'm trying to go into the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and he's stopping me, and he won't let me pass. And he's just giving me this big smile, but he won't let me pass. And then I'm asking him, like, why won't you let me by? I want to go into the kitchen. He's like,
Yeah.
just blocking my way. And then I wake up, and I took that as you're not ready for this. Don't do it. So he's around to help protect, and he's still saying hi. I think one of us said seen a note on a refrigerator, and he wrote it, and it said, "I'll see you in a while."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Oh,
he can
wow.
he can write us notes, but we can't actually get that verbal conversation.
What the hell, bro? That's crazy.
It's really cool.
I don't understand why. Like, why can't he speak? Why didn't Og's dad speak? What is the deal there? What is
That's a good question, and I don't have an answer for that one.
I do have. I remember having a dream about an aunt of mine that passed away. She was my favorite aunt, and we were close. She was young too. She was 31 when she passed away. I was 20.
That's unfortunate.
And so she visited me in a dream. So I was in the street in some city, and I didn't recognize the city at all. And she just shows up. She's just there. And I'm like, the hell are you doing here? You're dead. What are you doing here? And she's like, I just came to see how you're doing. And
That's super cool.
And I was like, I'm doing good. How are you doing? She goes, I'm great. And then she said, okay, I got to go now. And she proceeded to go to a building that was there. And outside the building, I don't know why this is, there were stairs, like just hanging out on the side of the building, going up and wrapping around the building, going up and wrapping around the outside of the building until she was gone. I couldn't see her anymore.
Huh.
Crazy, man. I don't understand it. But she did speak to me, but it was a dream. I think that was, I guess I kind of look at it as a visitation.
Yes.
And I recall, it was a period of grief, of course. And I was like, I would drive at night, And whenever I would think of her and look at street light, it would go off, like turn off. And I was like, is that you? What is that? And so I'll do it again later, and again, it'll turn off.
Mm-hmm.
And so a couple of days will go by, and I'm driving, and there's a street light that's off. And when I look at it, it turns on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this feels like she's talking to me. Is it her? I don't understand. It just didn't make sense. But
I think as long as you're paying attention, the universe works in such strange ways that you might get very specific signs that are meant only for you and no one else.
yeah, man.
And something like the street lamps like that, that's a message specifically for you because you are the one that's paying attention to that.
Yeah, that's how I felt. That's how I took it. But if I were to tell, like, and this is a time, this is in the 90s. This is like 91, 90, 91. And I remember thinking, if you say this to anybody, they're going to think you're crazy. Because at that time, especially in the 80s, man, and early 90s, you couldn't talk about this stuff. People honestly automatically thought you were nuts right away.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody. Now we live in a time, it's 2026, you can talk about this. And not only will people not think you're nuts, they will share their stories with you. You know, and but I mean, of course, there's still people that think you're nuts. But man,
yeah, to an extent.
yeah. But it's more acceptable these days. You can talk about this stuff.
Yes.
So I feel comfortable saying that. I mean, that actually happened to me. And I remember thinking, wow, I think this is real. I think she's messaging me.
So one day after my grandpa died, I had another kind of similar experience where me and my grandpa were pretty close. Like I had some good heart to hearts with him before he was able, or when he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And he was there for me when my son was sick with leukemia. So he was a big support. And he had this friendly raven that he would feed in his backyard.
Uh-huh.
And when we went and we did the funeral ceremony for him, that raven was circling the yard.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It was just up in the sky, circling around. Like, I saw this raven. Okay, it meant something to him. And so we spread his ashes and everything, and I go back home, and I was listening to one of my friends' podcasts, Brent Thomas from the Paranormal Portal, and we were talking about life after death, and we were just discussing some very positive views about it. And it was a Friday afternoon, and I was feeling kind of silly, and I just leave work, and I open the shop door, and I go outside, and there's this raven flying by. And I was just feeling silly. And so in my mind, I didn't say it out loud. I just said in my mind, hi, Grandpa. And all of a sudden in my head, I could hear my grandpa's voice. And it said, hello, my good boy.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Yeah. And but he said it in like such a happy tone. Like it gave me the confirmation I needed. Did
you get chills, or did you feel?
Oh, totally. Okay. Like hair standing on it.
I got chills just hearing it right now. Just like, what the hell? That's awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So how's your kid?
Oh, he's excellent. He's he's a big, tall teenager now.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear, man. I was like, oh, please be okay.
Okay, so the story with my son is I didn't know I was a father until he was 1 year old.
Oh, wow, dude.
Yeah. So It was a bit of a game changer for me to have my life just like spin on its head all at once. And so I spent that first year just getting to know him, kind of thing. I had very limited custody interaction with him.
Oh, wow.
And on his second birthday, he got rushed to the children's hospital with leukemia. And that was going through hell, man.
I bet.
Yeah, that was hell. Seeing
so you had a whole year And then
to
this
get
happened.
to know him, and
Yeah.
then he got diagnosed
Oh my God.
on his birthday. My mother noticed some bruises on him, and so she took him to the hospital thinking it was from a different kind of scenario that she
Right.
might need to be concerned about.
Yeah.
And then it turned out to be cancer. And it was a very aggressive, fast-acting one. So
She saved his life.
we get down to the hospital in Vancouver, and I spent the next year there with him. And during those first couple months there, it wasn't looking good.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor even came in one day and said, you need to prepare for the outcome that if he might not make it through this. And so one night when I was just in the room alone with him and I was tucking him into bed, I'd always sing him Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And after he fell asleep, I was just at my wit's end with everything. It's hard watching a baby die.
Yeah.
So I put my hand on him and I asked the universe, I'm like, if you can do anything, take this away from him. I will take this on if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't let him die. And I felt this electrical warmth go down my arm and into my hand and into him.
Mm-hmm.
And we went into the hospital for blood work the next day. And then when they got the results from that, they told me he was in remission.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, my friend. I'm sorry that it brought up those feelings, but
Every time.
that's a wonderful, wonderful outcome. So I'm grateful for that.
I'm thankful for it all the time. And now he's 15 and he's almost as tall as I am, and I'm 6'2".
That's awesome, man. That's wonderful. I wanted to be a dad, and I was married for a while, no longer married, but my wife was pregnant, and we lost that baby while she was pregnant. And that was a difficult time. I really did not enjoy that. Clearly, it was tough.
Yeah, I'm sorry
and
to
then
hear that.
That's okay. And the next, I got a divorce from her. We just didn't make it. And the exact next relationship, and it seemed like very quickly she became pregnant, and the exact same thing happened again.
Mm.
And it was very, those two happening within 10 years of each other was a difficult thing to endure. But
absolutely.
And it's weird because, like, for example, my current girlfriend, we've been together for 7 years. Her son died in his sleep when he was 21.
Oh, jeez.
Wonderful human being. I mean, I've heard story. I never met him because he had died about 5 years or so before we met. He would be 31 now, but he seemed just like a dream of like a wonderful kid. He was wonderful, intelligent. So I understand she had 21 years with him.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any time with my kids. I didn't have any time. But it hurt. It was a terrible pain that I wouldn't wish on anyone. But I can't imagine having someone for 21 years and then I don't know if I can deal with that one. I give her a lot of credit. She's it's been a struggle, man. So,
parents should never have to bury their babies.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That whole thing is just nuts. But I want to ask you about You did say near death experience. Am I correct there?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
I did have a very close call couple times actually, but
Really?
yeah, I mean, you come out of some accidents and they're so close, like if something had gone left or right, like you just
Oh,
wouldn't be
okay.
here.
I
But
see.
I went through a big bout of depression,
Hmm.
and I got put onto antidepressants for something that was completely unrelated. I had a migraine for an entire year
Good
back when I
God.
was young, and no one could figure out why. I had CAT scans, I had all kinds of blood work done. Doctors couldn't figure it out. So their solution for that was to put me on antidepressants and hardcore Tylenol 3s and all kinds of anti-inflammatory stuff to try to deal with this headache.
Wow.
And that
Antidepressants?
antidepressant changed my personality,
Mm-hmm.
and it put me in a very dark place. And I did things that were out of character for me that really hurt myself and other people as well. And I regretted doing them. And I ended up going home one day and just deciding I didn't want to do it anymore. And so I took all of the prescription medication I had in the cabinet and I drank it down with a 6-pack of beer,
Oh, wow.
not intending to wake up in the morning.
Wow, dude.
And I did wake up in the morning, but when I tried to walk into my kitchen, I collapsed on the floor. I don't even know how I got my phone, but I managed. I don't remember doing this. I called my mom. I didn't call an ambulance or anything. I remember I called my mom, and then I blacked out. And my mom came to get me at my basement suite. And she says when she opened that door that there was 2 angels in there working on me.
Mm.
She said one was giving me breath and one was working on my heart because my heart was basically stopped. And I got taken to the hospital. I was in ER. I don't remember any of it until I woke up. And when I woke up, it was my heart rate monitor flatlining. And the nurse comes over, is like, "Oh, good, you're awake." And it's like, am I dying? And she's like, "Your heart rate is so low that it's triggering the machine, and it's been beeping like that for a while. So
Oh, wow.
we'll just monitor you now that you're awake." So
Crazy.
yeah, I don't remember seeing anything from the other side, but the doctor said that I took enough prescription medication that it could kill a bull elephant.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you did die.
Probably.
Okay. And you don't remember seeing anything?
I don't actually know.
Okay.
Just that my mom said that she saw people working on me that disappeared when she walked in.
Oh, wow. So what I've heard,
Mm-hmm.
and this is very, I find this subject fascinating. As a matter of fact, I should put that into deeper down the rabbit hole. Let me see if I have that in there. I'm probably going to ask you to do a show with me here, Chucky, about dreams. That's
Sure.
one of the deeper down the rabbit hole subjects I want to cover because I love dreams. You're going to find out in the 6 questions. There's a dream question in there.
Okay.
But I'm going to put that down in here, near death experiences, because I'm fascinated by that.
They are very interesting.
So what I've heard is, and I've seen a lot of videos about it, and I have posted on down the rabbit hole some video. I do like series of these because they're so interesting to me. One gentleman said that he apparently he died, and when he died, he went to this place, and it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And when he saw people there, he felt this intense amount of love, like the the emotion, but it was so intense that he saw like family members there, and he embraced them. His brother who had passed away, he embraced that guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he found out that his brother is one of his spirit guides, or one of the spirits that looks after him, or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was taken to a place, he said, and in this place he was allowed to feel how he made other people feel in a negative way.
Like the life review.
Yes. And but this first part was all the negative feelings. So for example, if he had broken up with a girlfriend at a young age and was rude to her, mean to her, he got
Mm-hmm.
to feel how she felt from that experience. And he was intense. He said I got luckily I didn't do anything horrid in my life, but there was a lot of things and things I said to people and how I made them feel, and I had all of them come to me, and I could feel what they felt, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I was
Yeah.
just I felt so bad about how I made these people feel. And then he said after that experience was over, I got to feel the good feelings that I gave to people, the happiness, the laughter, all the good positive feelings. He got to feel everyone he's ever interacted with, and he got to feel that, and it was wonderful, you know.
Yeah.
And then he was told he's got to go back, and he did. He returned, and it affected his life in such a way that he has changed how he lives his life. It changed how I live my life, man. I
Yep.
try to collect as many positive, like I'm trying to make people feel good about themselves, buddy. I want to feel that. I don't want to feel the other stuff, but I know I have a lot of
Absolutely.
stuff coming to me from when I grew up, things I said, or, got into fights or whatever the case may be. Um, I got that waiting for me, I guess. So I'm trying to offset it with good stuff. I
Sometimes
want
the
good stuff.
bad stuff is needed to shape you into the person that you are, though.
Yeah.
And sometimes that changes you for the better.
Well said. Actually, yes, I agree with that. And I've changed a lot. I've changed a lot. And so, yeah, that experience is very, I want it to be true. I don't know that it's true. The reason why it's called Dayvid Don't Know is because I don't have the answers to any of this stuff. And I want it to be true.
I can believe it.
Yeah. Everyone has a concept that you're bad, you go to hell, or you're good, you go to heaven, and that's it. And I can't subscribe to that. I don't think that's the way it works.
Well, I didn't never had that life review uh, when I was out, but when I did wake up, I was happy.
Oh, wow.
Uh, I
Okay.
was laughing, I was joking, I felt like a different person,
No kidding.
and my headache was gone. So
Wow.
that headache that I had suffered with was just absolutely gone. For the next couple months, I had a really weak heart, and so I had to take some heart medication to help me stay alive because I
Hmm.
was just like blacking out and everything. Uh, but that heart medication also made it so that I was sober as well.
Oh, wow.
And actually, I had a pretty wild Sasquatch experience while I was on that medication.
No way, man.
Yeah.
Do
So
tell.
I was on a camping trip for May long weekend, and this is with all my friend group. This is when my buddy that died was still alive.
Okay.
Um, actually, we had a pretty fun event during that trip where the very first night we were so excited to be there, and we hopped out on the boat and went out fishing right away. And he was the only one that had brought a fly rod, and so the rest of us are just like spin casting off of the boat. and he's whipping this line back and forth, and it's whizzing by our heads because he's already half cut, right?
Yeah.
And so we hit the deck while this hook's going by, and he goes forward. The hook goes into his face and his chin,
Oh, dude.
and then he pulls back, and it just sinks right in.
Something about Mary.
So there's us going back to shore, and he's got a fly fishing hook in his cheek or in his chin,
Oh my god, dude.
and he wanted me to take it out with pliers. I'm like, no way, man. He was a big dude, and he's the kind of guy that if you hurt him pulling that out, he'd probably punch you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you can take this out yourself.
Yeah.
So we just had it. That was a good memory from that trip. And so my memorial tattoo that I've got on my arm here actually shows that fly fishing hook that was in his face. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So during that trip, everyone else is drinking, but I'm kind of like the DD supervisor, everything. And
Heart medication, yeah.
yeah, I couldn't. Like, it would kill me if I did. And so one evening, I heard an owl across the lake. And we're situated where we're camped on one lake, but we're like 200 yards away from the second lake.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk over to the shore. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this little trick that I learned when we were at camp in elementary school where we can talk to owls. So I go to the shore and I start calling the owl, and immediately, like, it just responds.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay, that was really cool. And I respond and it responds. And then I respond and it responds. And then all of a sudden, on the other side of the lake, another owl started to talk. And then in the back of the lake, another owl started to talk.
Oh, shit.
And then kind of nearby to where that first one's talking, another one is. And they're all kind of going off at the same time. And then from the other lake, there's like 2 or 3 that start up over there.
Mm-hmm.
So there was about a dozen owl calls going off all at once.
Oh, wow, dude.
And one of the girls that was in our group came over and she's like, can you stop that? It's kind of freaking me out. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I had my fun with these and I can stop. And so I stop and I start walking away from the shore. And then all of a sudden, from the location where the very first one started talking to me, it starts off as an owl call, but then it devolved into this really fast mix between like a chimpanzee and a kookaburra, just like a really fast chatter. And I'm like, do you hear this demented owl? Like, what kind of a sound is that? I did not think it was any kind of a cryptid.
Uh-huh.
Until I started listening to Sasquatch Chronicles when I was older. And I learned that Sasquatch can mimic owls. Because there was something else that was really weird that happened that night. So we were all sitting around a campfire and we were kind of having a heart discussion about what had happened to me. Mm-hmm. Like 4 of us were up. This was like 3, 4 in the morning. Everyone else was still in their tents asleep. And while we're around the campfire, our backs are kind of to where the parking lot is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like this little gravel lot in the middle of the trees. We hear running across the gravel. And then this really quick but deep ruff. And we turn and look and we didn't see anything. But it freaked us right out.
I bet.
So we grabbed our flashlights and we're looking around and we don't see anything. But it was just super weird. And so after hearing all these people relate stories about owls that devolve into chimpanzee chatter, and I remember when I heard it, there was this one guy, he was camping on a river, and he did the same thing. He was talking to this owl, and he said when he was talking to it, He said it sounded like a mix between a chimpanzee and a kookaburra. I'm like, that's what I
Oh
said.
wow.
Except I
It
think
could be.
he saw the thing.
Mm.
So I'm like, well, what if that's what I had experienced up at this lake? And I mean, we're in Sasquatch hotspot country. Like, Sasquatch is actually named in British Columbia.
Hmm.
And I had a couple experiences that are like not that very far away. But yeah, that was so weird. Maybe we were just ticking off this group of Sasquatch because like we weren't really quiet when we were out camping. We were playing like Rob Zombie and Metallica and everything on our truck
Yeah.
stereos, right? Like we weren't being quiet. We were shooting potato cannons across the lake and everything. So like if we made them mad, they came in and they let us know.
Well, let me ask you, when you heard the running,
Yeah.
how far away was that, do you think?
Not very far.
So it was pretty close.
Yeah, that was like 40 to 20 feet.
Okay, yeah, because you could hear it, right? And
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, let's just say it is a Sasquatch and it's running. These things are huge and they
Yeah.
move fast.
Yeah.
When it made that noise, when it made that guttural sound, did you feel it inside your chest, or was it just a loud noise?
To be honest, I can't remember.
Okay, because it would strike me something that big. It's warning you, right? It's letting you know you're stepping out of bounds and
Yeah.
do not approach, that kind of thing. And I've heard that the sound it makes is similar to a lion's roar, not sounding like a lion, but it's got that power behind the
The
sound.
infrasound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it goes
Yeah.
into you.
I've heard that at the zoo with the tigers and lions.
Yeah,
It
it's a
it
neat
it gives you
experience, right?
chills.
Yeah, because it's like, whoa, dude, that's a whole other level of putting fear in your chest. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So I was curious if you felt that inside, like if you it was so strong that it penetrated.
Well, biologically that is a advantage for a predator.
Yeah.
Cuz like tigers when they do their roar, they have a bit of infrasound in there and it'll actually freeze up their prey for just like a enough time
Yeah.
that they can get the bite,
Right. It's
right?
crazy, man. It's effective,
Yeah,
extremely effective. I did notice I was looking at your Instagram page. You love animals, man. I love animals too, but I was
I
like, this
do.
man loves animals, dude.
So I love animals, but I like to learn how they work because it helps me understand the things that we don't know. So, like after I had heard all these Sasquatch stories, I just got obsessed. Like
Hmm.
I love the stories. I think they're real. I had some weird experiences in my hunting zone where I never seen one, but I think I've come close. I found a footprint one time uh after seeing a tree shake the spring before or fall before. I saw this footprint in the spring, but it was like too weathered to really cast it. But it was still really, it's a cool experience for me.
Oh yeah.
But what I really wanted to know was the things that people can't explain and they automatically throw it in the woo woo category. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, there's got to be an explanation that people just aren't seeing. And what I really kind of focused on was the glowing red eyes that people
Mm.
talk about. And I wanted to think, okay, what in nature has what's the purpose of these glowing red eyes? Like what could they possibly be doing and why does this work and why isn't it an advantage?
Mhm.
And you get a lot of eye shine from critters at nighttime, except it's different colors. Like deer will go green or yellow and cats are like orangey and like they all kind of got their own color for how they work biologically. And
Yeah.
what they're actually doing is they're seeing in ultraviolet light and infrared light sometimes.
Okay.
So they're using the moonlight and the starlight to see at nighttime. And it's gathering off the back of their eye, and when you see the shine, it's the reflection of the light from their eye. So when you see Sasquatch that has this eye shine, it's just showing you that they can see nocturnally. And I go, okay, well, how do the animals in the forest do this at nighttime? And so I start investigating this ultraviolet stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I came across a study on owls, funny enough.
Yeah.
And they were doing these UV studies where they spread out their wing feathers, and you can take 3 different owls from 3 different regions, and the flight feathers will fluoresce in different patterns depending on where they come from.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of a way of them to be able to communicate while they're in flight. And like certain patterns will fluoresce pink, and then other feathers will just stay blank. So when you see it in the UV, it gives you this distinctive pattern.
Interesting.
And then I started looking at other critters like flying squirrel. When you see it, what color is it?
I haven't seen one.
Brown or gray?
Brownish, yeah.
Yeah, brown or gray. They're pretty drab looking. But when you put them under ultraviolet light, they go hot pink, orange, blue. They got a mixture of colors on their body.
Oh, wow.
So they go like completely wild looking if you look at them under the UV. And that's how they see each other at night. When they spread their wings and they're flying from tree to tree, they're like a little neon disco ball. So I was like, okay, well, what about the plants? And so I bought myself a forensics quality UV flashlight that you can use for mineral hunting and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at the plants at nighttime, and something that's very drab, like old man's beard or lichen,
Mm-hmm.
it will go like this really cool orange color. So you start seeing plants that change their colors if you look at them in the UV.
That's interesting.
And then I came across this study where when you see like a deer or a bear browsing plants, and they're going from one plant here, and then they're leaving a whole bunch of, like, say it's a bear in a blueberry patch. He's going from this bush here, and then he leaves a whole bunch and goes to one like over here. It's like, well, why aren't you stopping in the middle and getting these ones?
Yeah.
They can use the UV to see the protein and sugar content of the plant and know what is the most nutritious to eat.
Huh.
So it's a distinct advantage for animals to be able to see in this UV. So if Sasquatch sees in the UV, they can see the same thing with plants and animals.
Mm.
And I've even taken a UV flashlight to rabbits, domestic, of course, but their ears, when you look at them in the UV,
Mm-hmm.
the inside of their ears, when they have them up, go this weird pastel blue.
Oh, wow.
So when they're looking around, it's like a signboard for communicating with each other.
Oh, shit.
And there's a study I found this fall about white-tailed deer and their rut scrapes that they make. So when they rub their antlers on trees, they're also expressing a gland from their head into the rub. And then they'll paw at the dirt, and they're getting some gland expression there too. And when you look at that in the UV, it just shines right up. And it makes it like a highway sign when deer are running along the forest 1,000,000 miles an hour looking for a doe.
Yeah.
So there's all this communication that's happening in different spectrums and frequencies that we just can't see normally.
That's interesting, man. And Chuck, are you a hunter?
I am, yeah. So it also helps me understand what I'm hunting, right?
Mhm.
So you can look at your camouflage clothes, for instance. You think you're blending in, but if you look at your camouflage under the UV, certain kinds will actually like fluoresce right up. And I actually just saw a turkey hunter that understands how this works. And I was like, I had this proud moment where I'm like, yes, finally someone is looking at this too. But like certain brands, you stick out like a sore thumb. So others will go kind of bluey, which kind of blends in with green, but others will go like orange.
Oh wow.
And for birds, that's bad. So a turkey hunter does not want camouflage that's going to turn orangey in the UV, because birds can pick up UV a lot better than a deer can.
About
Deer have this weird thing with their vision. They can't actually see red or orange. And so when a deer sees red or orange, it translates in their brain to another shade of green. And that's why tigers are so effective. Because tigers can go hide in the grass, and they got that black stripe to break up their image. It's kind of like a camouflage suit built in. So the striping helps break up their outline, and then the orange will blend into the foliage around them.
That is cool.
That's why monkeys are used as sentries in a symbiosis with the deer, because they can actually still see it.
Wow. So I don't know if you know who Ronnie LeBlanc is, but I interviewed him. I interviewed him about a month, maybe a month and a week ago. And he talked about, he saw one. Well, I don't know if you knew this, but he was like the first person in Massachusetts to cast a Bigfoot print.
Cool.
So he's actually credited with that. He doesn't think he is actually, but he's the first one credited with doing that. And he was talking about a time where he saw one. Him and a couple of his buddies were out. They were doing a convention, the paranormal conventions and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they were on their way to their Airbnb or hotel or whatever, but they stopped in the woods nearby and they saw one. He says, I saw it. And then it cloaked to the point where he just saw hair. He could see it still, but it was just the hair.
Yeah.
And then it breezed by. But he said, before it did that, I saw the eyes. They were orange.
Yeah.
And then he said it turned into an orb and just whizzed by at this high rate of speed. And I asked him, and I asked everyone who's ever had any kind of encounter with a Bigfoot, why do you think we haven't caught Bigfoot yet? In 2026, with all this technology, why haven't we caught Bigfoot, man? Do you know why?
I think it's because they're extremely psychic.
Okay.
But also, I think they can walk between realms too. So maybe they're part Fae or something. But yeah, if you want to see on video a Sasquatch that just disappears in front of your eyes like that,
yeah,
watch the Paul Freeman footage.
Okay.
It's probably the second best Sasquatch footage you will see on the internet.
I just talked about Paul Freeman. How interesting. Okay.
Compared to the Patterson Gimlin footage,
Uh-huh.
the Freeman footage is like so good.
Okay.
And it actually has some really interesting behavior. So it like walks onto frame. He's just filming footprints in the sand that morning. Like he's not thinking that he's going to see one. And this Sasquatch comes out in front of him, crosses over by a cedar tree, and it kind of bends its head down a little bit to match the swoop of the branch.
Trippy, man.
And when it lines up its spine with the swoop of that branch, it disappears. It turns greenish looking, and it just blends right in. And it stops. It stops for just like a couple seconds, and then it keeps walking, and then you can see it again.
Oh wow! So it's like cloaked. That's exactly what Ronnie was saying. It's like,
so the theory is that they have translucent hairs on it, kind of like a polar bear. And so when they can almost like raise up like guard hairs, like, when a dog roughs up its guard hairs, when it does that, it absorbs the color that's nearby.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's how that works. But what's really interesting about this one is it walks off trail. He loses it in frame for a little bit. And he never realized this while he was alive, but his son went through his footage to help clean up some images and everything and get it into modern frame rate and everything.
Yeah.
And when he was going through that, they realized that as he's panning around in the forest trying to find this thing, he actually pans right over it
Mm.
as it bends down and picks up a baby.
Oh, wow.
You can see this little chimpanzee like leg latch around the side of it. It's so cool.
That is cool, man. That is amazing. I do. I mean, I like to err on the side of caution, and I'm very skeptical about these certain things. But the more I talk about Bigfoot, Sasquatch, the more it seems that this interdimensional thing, where they can evade us, seems to be a possibility. Because I can't explain how we haven't run into one to the point where we can bring it into the open, or capture it, or find dead ones on the side of the road or something. Why?
I think they're extremely psychic, because I almost wonder if they're not a different branch of us.
Okay.
And at some point in the past, we deviated one way and embraced technology,
Mm-hmm.
and they deviated one way and stayed wild. And there's this weird phenomena where you can take a domestic animal like a pig,
Mm-hmm.
and if it gets loose and goes into the wild, it looks pink when it's on a farm. It goes into the wild, and very shortly, like a couple months, it'll start turning dark black brown again, and it'll
Mm-hmm.
start growing that wild boar hair again. It gets feral and more aggressive,
Tusks
and
and whatnot. All
yeah,
sorts
it'll
of weird,
start
yeah.
growing tusks again. So I can't remember the fancy scientific word for it, but there's a specific term about these domestic animals that rewild and go back to being like a native species.
Hmm.
And I think we get the same thing with humans. But
Okay.
I don't think we can do it in like our lifetime like a farm animal can.
Yeah. Well,
But
that's
I think
very interesting theory, man. I don't think I've ever heard that theory before.
so. They can see in the UV, we can't. We embraced fire and electric lighting, and so we've developed the need to not have that anymore.
Mm.
So back in the day, when we didn't have that, you'd have to have a scout on guard to keep your family safe, and you'd be able to see in the dark. You'd be able to see the UV. What's really cool, every human is born with stripes and spots, but we can't see those stripes and spots, and they're only in ultraviolet.
Oh, shit.
You can see them with special machinery, and like it's the growth swirls of when you're forming as an embryo.
Mm-hmm.
But all these animals and everything can see that on you. It's really cool.
Wow.
So if we could see in the UV, our world would be completely different. It would probably look more like the movie Avatar, where everything's just super colorful and wild like that. But there's a weird thing that happens when people take psychedelics, like mushrooms,
Mm-hmm.
where they start seeing colors that they don't normally see. Right?
Yeah.
And so they make posters like that for the drug pot shops and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at them in the ultraviolet, and they give you these cool neon colors. Well, what's really funny is those are the same colors that you see in nature when you look at the stuff in ultraviolet.
Oh, okay.
So what I think is happening is those mushrooms, what's happening when you're tripping out on a psychedelic is it's connecting synapses in your brain that don't normally connect. And so you connect the pathway where all of a sudden you've unlocked the primitive ultraviolet section in your brain,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden you can see it again for a short period of time. And you just think you're tripping out, but really you're just seeing the world as it truly is.
Wow. That's really cool, man. Have you ever taken any psychedelics?
Not on purpose.
Oh, okay. On accident?
Yeah, I was roofied by a 12-year-old one time.
No.
Yeah. So I went to a Halloween party, and I was having a couple drinks with my best friend, and we were supposed to be going to a Halloween dance with his wife's parents. And so we were trying to be on our best behavior. And we were at this bonfire, and we were picking up another friend.
Mm-hmm.
And while we waited for them to be ready, we were kind of feeling hungry as we were drinking our beer. And this kid comes around with a tray of brownies.
Oh,
And
snap, dude.
I thought it was innocent because he's like
Yeah.
12 years old. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll have a brownie, dude. And my
That's
best friend
funny.
does too. Then we go to leave, and we just look at his wife and we're like, we cannot go to that dance. And we get home, and it was like someone put on Google Images on random, and it was just like,
Wow. What a
yeah,
trip, man.
I
Do
don't
you ever
know.
find out what it was?
No
Exactly?
idea.
No
No
idea.
idea.
Holy crap. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that? There's a guy who does DMT and
Mm.
puts a laser on a wall.
I've heard of that, where you
Okay.
can see like the Matrix writing.
Yeah, you can see code. You can actually look into the laser and look to the right, to the left, inside the laser, and it's a whole other world, apparently. And then I've
Yeah, I've
heard stories
never
where
tried anything like that, but I've heard of that.
I would want to see it just to see it once. I just want to
Sure.
see what it's like. Had another story where this guy was talking about taking that and seeing all these beings, like going to a whole other place, and saying that this place seemed like the most real place he's ever experienced, like 10,000 times more real than this that we're in right now. He said it was so freaking, it was like unbelievably real, like the HDSD you could possibly get. It was so amazing. And he met up
Yeah.
with a frog-like creature.
Interesting.
And the frog-like creature was a musician apparently, and was teaching him how to play a guitar, and was telling him, okay, put your hands here and then strum that. Okay, now put your hands here. And he says, I'm teaching you. You didn't know this before. You'll go back and you'll be able to do it. And sure enough,
Kind of like the Loveland Frogman.
something like that, man. And you know what's funny is this man, this frog guy,
Yeah.
I had posted this video about this guy talking about it. He said when he came back out of the, thing, he said it felt like we were living in an 8-bit reality compared to where that was. So if you think about the old video games, 8-bit looking, he was like,
Yeah.
that's how it compares. This is the wrong place. This is not the real. That place is the real
Higher
place.
dimensional. Yeah.
Right. And DMT, we're supposed to have that already
Naturally. Yeah.
in our bodies naturally. So when we die, this thing gets released.
Yeah.
Apparently.
DMT dump.
Yep. And so what a this whole thing is crazy, but there was a lot of comments in that video that I posted on Down the Rabbit Hole that said, I have taken mushrooms and I saw the same frog dude and he was teaching me a different instrument.
That's interesting.
How are people seeing the same dude having different trips and different types of psychedelics? That's crazy to me.
The Egyptians would often take psychedelics as well. And you've got gods like Kek and I can't remember the other one right offhand, but there's a couple Egyptian gods and goddesses that are frog-faced.
Oh, wow. No kidding.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
So mythologically, that has been in our history this entire time.
What a
It's
trip.
just it's just you're seeing that from a different part of the world, so you're not connecting the dots, right?
Huh. Yeah. Well, you
But
know, I was
also,
just go ahead.
like
Sorry.
the Amanita muscaria mushroom.
Mhm.
It's mostly a northern, like Scandinavian type hallucinogen.
Mhm.
It's poisonous if humans consume it straight, and so a lot of our Christmas traditions actually originate about this mushroom. And it's how Santa Claus came to be. So these mushroom shamans would dress like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
They would go through the snow, find these red and white mushrooms. They would hang them in socks by the fireplace to dry them out, or they'd hang them upside down in a tree so they would look like ornaments. But they would go on these mushroom trip rituals with them. So they can either dilute it by drying them out and having small doses, or what they found, this is really gross, the reindeer that live in that region, they love these mushrooms. They eat them. And someone somehow, probably the guy who invented the yellow snow cone, found out that if you ingest their urine, you can trip out.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, there's your yellow snow cone origin, drinking reindeer pee. But that's also like the origin of the saying, like when someone drinks beer and it tastes really bad, what do you say? You say, oh, this tastes like piss.
Yeah.
It's because they used to take this reindeer pee and dilute it with ale. But it takes you to this other realm where people see the machine elves.
Oh.
So that's where the Christmas elf tradition came from.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's a trip.
It's so weird, but it all goes back to much older traditions of people tripping out on these mushrooms. And then we've just brought it forward and it's become so diluted that we've lost the original meaning of it.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of, like, for example, a Christmas tree it's not a Christian thing, right? It's oh my God, I'm forgetting
Was it
where
Germanic?
Yeah, there's another word I'm forgetting that I always use around Christmas time. I always say this because it reminds me of this, how Christians are so like, oh yeah, let's put a tree inside the house. Does that make any sense to anybody?
Oh, pagan.
Pagan, thank you. Yes, exactly. It's a pagan ritual. It was never a Christian thing, but when they wanted to convert pagans to Christianity,
they had to adopt some of their traditions in order to keep them happy.
So that is a hilarious one. I love that one. I actually want if we do anything like that here, my family loves tree. Of course, it's tradition by now. You know, I don't like it because I'm not a pagan nor a Christian, man. I want a Christmas shelf. I want to build a shelf, decorate the shelf, put the gifts on the shelf, man. It's not. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. I will not take but a second.
All good.
My refrigerator is right here. Boom, son. Yeah. Okay.
Heck yeah. Talking about reindeer pee got you thirsty.
Chucky Danger. Man, you have a podcast, don't you?
I do, yeah. But it's a little bit on hiatus because my last computer decided to brick itself. And I
remember we were talking about that. Yeah. I'm sorry about that, man.
Yeah. I mean, these things happen. Technology's not perfect. But when your computer can't load Windows anymore, you can't access your computer. So, yeah.
Did you get a new one?
This is my new computer. I just need to now get an intro again because I could record, but I lost my intro because it was on my other hard drive.
Man. And you're not able to get anything off that hard drive? You probably could.
If I pay a lot of money, it sounds like I might be able to.
I used to be an IT manager.
Yeah.
I did IT for a long time, man. And I used to have this device that you pull out the hard drive and you just connect it to this device, and it's got a USB, and you connect it to another computer, and you can actually get to files.
Yes.
And that's how I would do it, but I don't do that anymore. I did not enjoy that whole thing.
I'll figure it out. I have someone that went to look at it, so it's actually with them right now.
Cool. You're gonna get it.
They couldn't deal with it.
So, they couldn't. Oh,
yeah, like this computer really bricked itself.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I have a laptop. I just had that problem. I have a couple of laptops. I had to buy a newer computer just before Christmas because I knew that this very expensive laptop I paid I didn't pay $5,000, but it's very expensive. And it started to go bad. So I knew it was like on its last leg. So I was able to back up all my data and a drive. Yeah. And then I swear to God, as soon as I was done with backing up everything I wanted, and I restarted it, it never came back. I mean, we're talking.
Oh, wow.
I was that close, man. And so I just rebuilt it, and it came back as a normal. It's fixed. It was basically a Windows issue, like a Windows. It crashed hard. All I had to do was rebuild it again, like from scratch, and that means erase everything, and it worked. Until today, where it kind of went nuts again, but it's back. It's working again. So I don't know what's going on. I'm just glad I had this other computer.
Yeah, thank goodness.
God, man. Yeah, I hate that. I'm sorry.
That was a lesson learned in technology because, like, it wasn't even that old of a computer, so I thought I was gravy. I
don't know if you've seen my show at all, but my intro in the way in the beginning, Kevin made for me.
Okay.
So Kevin he was the producer of this show for the first 20 episodes. And he actually I made the video of the thing, but he made the music. And I don't know if you ever heard any of his music from the AI stuff. It's great. And I really, really like the intro to this. And like that video that's playing back here, I used some of that. I put a couple other things together, and it went really well. And I'm real happy with it.
Yeah, you got to have something you're happy with.
So are you gonna make a new one?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah. What I'd love to have is my podcast is called The Danger Zone with Chucky Danger.
Yeah.
I need something that's like just enough that it's not copyright, but it's close enough to the danger zone.
AI, big dog.
Yeah.
Highway to Chucky Danger Zone.
AI is a funny thing. It's one thing that I've been really avoiding. It's not something that I've dabbled with personally. Just because I appreciate real human effort and art. But I also understand that it makes stuff like that a lot easier.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something. It makes it a lot easier, bro.
Yeah.
Think about Tommy Cullum's show, Let's Get Freaky.
Oh, he comes up with some of the coolest cover art.
It's good. He's great at that stuff, man. That guy is something else. As a matter of fact, he made we were
Tommy.
doing that UK show. I know he's the best, dude. I did a guest spot. It was my second ever. I've done hundreds now, but I remember doing one before his, and it was like a super small show, so I wasn't nervous or anything. And then he reached out to me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, man, you're from the UK? Okay, cool. Tommy Cullum. All right, sure, I'll do it." And I was telling some friends, "Hey, I'm going to be on Tommy Cullum's show. Let's Get Freaky." And they're like, "You're going to be what?" I'm like, "Tommy Cullum's show. Let's Get Freaky." He's like, "Dude, that dude is huge." And I was like, "What? What do you mean?" That dude has a guy who goes out and gets guests for him. That's how big this guy is, right? And I was like, "Oh snap, man!" I was like nervous, like it was going to be my second appearance ever. I had not shown my face on Down the Rabbit Hole at all, and I did it, and I met with him, and he was so cool. He has this ability to like relax you, make you feel comfortable, and then you start, and it's like great. I had such a good time, and I always blame him.
I think it's his genuine appreciation for knowledge he doesn't know because he's so interested in all this stuff.
Yes.
You tell him something that is not on his radar and you can just see him get locked right in, and he's all about it. He's
so awesome. So he, JJ Rose 777, who we know, both of us know, she says that he's a newbie as far as souls, like he's like a brand new soul. That's why he reacts the way he reacts to everything. It's because he's learning it for the first time, And it's
funny.
fascinating. It is hilarious, but I think it's also his appeal. Like he's got this, like you want to have a beer with this dude. He's so cool and so open and happy. And it's just, I love the guy. He's one of my favorite guys, you know?
Totally. He's not an old soul that's like downtrodden and cynical.
Yeah, exactly, man. He is super, super awesome. He actually has done the first 2 episodes of Deeper Down the Rabbit Hole. He was on the first panel and then he was on the second panel. So that
I've
dude,
seen the highlights on Instagram.
oh man, he's just great. I love that guy. But you know JJ Rose 777, don't you?
I do, yes.
Tell me a story about something she's done for you that you did not expect or did not know she could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do we begin? So, I had a kind of a come to Jesus moment
Oh wow.
in my life where it kind of put me onto the mainstream religious track for a little while.
Okay.
And I started reading the Bible again. And I mean, I lived most of my life as an atheist, but some miracles happen and you just cannot deny the presence of a higher being. And so I'm reading the Bible and I start seeing things. They don't outright say it, but they start talking about like psychic abilities and weird things that just don't fit their narrative normally.
Okay.
And so I was talking with my mom about some of this stuff and she's like, I don't know, son, this kind of stuff's like not in my wheelhouse. Like, I don't know what to say. And I just said out loud, I'm like, I would really like to have a teacher that could help me understand this stuff a little bit better. I met JJ Rose a week later.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, it started off with innocent questions here or there. And, you know, we developed into this really strong friendship. And I consider JJ family now.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same. She's proven to me.
She's
time
definitely
and time
helped
again.
me out through some thick and thin stuff.
Yep.
We help each other all the time.
Yeah.
One of the weird things that she's done that kind of just shows that she's not normal, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I was, this is right after I started going through my divorce. So I was staying at a rental place on my friend's place. And I was over his yard for a barbecue. And his wife is asking me a question. And she's like, oh, did you leave your blinds up or down? Or were you home today? Like, did you go to work? I'm like, yeah, I went to work. And she's like, well, someone's been moving the blinds in your rental place. And I was like, okay, that wasn't me because I've been at work all day. And as we're talking about all this weirdness, they're like talking about like how this place might be slightly haunted. And Buddy's got his truck keys on the table like way away. And as we're talking about this, his truck just starts to alarm and go off.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was really weird. And so it wasn't him accidentally clicking the button in his pocket or anything, because like he went over and had to grab his keys to turn this off. And like we all kind of just got the chills. We're like, that was really weird. And
I feel like something went and touched the truck or hit it in a way to make it go off. Wow.
Well, that's where JJ comes in. Because I was like, I knew what she could do at this point. And I'm like, hey, JJ, I'm over at a barbecue right now and we got some weird stuff happening. Like, can you take a look? And so she's like, yep, no problem. Just give me a second. And she's like, make sure your feet are touching the ground and don't move for a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And like when she does her thing, you can just feel like this intense warmth. Like you just get really, really sweaty. And she starts describing stuff in the yard and the property.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving her any information about what she is looking for.
Yeah.
And she's describing the property. She's like, okay, I'm in your house. I'm looking around. She's like, okay, I'm right in front of the shelf. And like, there was definitely something here. And it's like some sort of Germanic spirit. And yeah, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was like something that kind of looks like wolfish, but mixed with other things.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes over to the corner of my buddy's shop, and there's this rose bush right off the corner. She's like, yeah, there's a nature spirit living in this rose bush. And she said that this thing came from the neighbor's property. And then I asked my buddy, I'm like, are your neighbors from Germany? And she's like, yeah.
Oh.
And she says that she tried to talk to this thing, and it ran across the property line over into that corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, where do they live? That corner. I was like, no way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no way. And she said that I emit a lot of light that you just can't see.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing got curious because I'm new in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And was coming in to investigate why I'm putting off so much light. That it's snooping around my stuff.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
She is the most gifted person I've ever met. She's
yeah.
And I'm like I said, I'm a skeptic. I'm a huge skeptic. And doing down the rabbit hole, I get a lot of psychics to reach out and say, hey man, I want to do a reading for you. And it's all bunk. It's none of it's right, And then they're like, because that's how they bring you in. Oh yeah, so what do you think? Do you want a session? Like, no, I don't want a session. You're wrong. You're completely wrong. And when I reached out to her, she did everything that you're describing is basically what I went through, except it was more of a vibrating feeling. It was like,
oh yeah.
It was this weird vibration. Anyway, she was right about all of it. And it took me 2 weeks to try to disprove. I was like, there's got to be an explanation for this. Maybe it's something online. No. Everything she said is extremely personal. It's not online. Maybe she looked me up. No, that can't be it. So 2 weeks I was trying to prove her wrong. I couldn't.
Yeah.
And so I asked her, what did you do? What did you do? Because I didn't know what she did. She didn't tell me. She just said, I'll be there in a minute. And I laughed. I laughed when she said that. Oh, you're going to be in here in a minute? Okay, good. So yeah, see you then. And I just blew out of my mind. I was like, this woman's nuts. That's how I met her. I was like, she's crazy. I don't think she's
she's going to be listening to this and then laughing her ass off.
Oh, I know. I'll tell her too. And I finally asked her, what did you do? And she says, well, I left my body and I went to go find you. And when I found you, in a minute, she found me in a minute. I don't know how she did that. When I found you, I pierced into your aura to see what I could see. And that's when I got that information. And that's why you probably felt this. And I was like, I didn't tell her how I felt. But she was describing to me exactly how I felt, which was pissing me off kind of. Because like, how does she know this, man? It's not right. You can't be doing this. But she was explaining everything. And I was like, she's real. I can't explain anything. There's no other way to explain it.
Yeah.
What she did was real. What she told me was right. What? Yeah, and what you're saying about like being there and seeing everything and describing it to you exactly the way it is. She's been in my house, man, but she's never been here. I live in Texas. She lives in California.
She doesn't I know. She doesn't have to be. That's the fun part.
You know how they say that if you have your router, they can look into your router and see they can now see through walls using your router. They can see if you're home. Now they can't see.
They soft disclose that in The Dark Knight when Batman does that to try to find Joker.
Yeah, he's using cell phones, right? In the movie, right?
Yeah.
But this is a router, dude, and when you look into it, it's true. They can do that, but they're not seeing you completely.
No.
They see your form.
Yeah,
kinda.
it's not like what she does.
So that's what I was wondering. Is like that. I was trying to explain it, dude. I was trying my hardest to figure out what is she doing, how is she doing it. She's just gifted. She's just beyond.
I can do it on a very limited extent.
Can you?
I've taken her class.
Oh,
So, but where she can see everything, I can only see like I'm looking through a very thick fog.
okay.
So
She says,
I don't get very clear images when I try to do this stuff. It's more feeling.
yeah,
But
dude.
everybody can do this stuff.
Yeah, that's what she says.
The power is in belief, for one. So you have to believe that you can do it. Okay, because if you have self-limiting thoughts, your self-limiting thoughts are going to limit you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Very true. So you can actually prove that everything is just normal and you can't do anything just by thinking that.
Yeah.
But she has helped me. Like I said, I do ride share, and I'm able to pick up energies, and I think she helped me do this.
Yeah.
And I'm not the greatest at it, but I can pick up the ones who are open. So if someone gets in the vehicle and is just joyful, happy, open, I can feel that energy, and I can pick up on how they're feeling, where they're going, what they're going to be doing. All this kind of stuff kind of opens up, like they're talking to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I picked up this girl who was dressed kind of nice, and she was very happy, and I was able to tell where she was going. I said, You're going swimming with friends, huh? And she said, yes. And I said, yeah, at their house. Is that where we're going? We're going to the house. And she was like, yeah, how did you know that? I'm not even wearing a bathing suit. It's under my clothes. And I don't have a towel. I was like, I could just feel it. I could tell that you're going to a friend's house to go swimming. And there are people that get in that are closed off, completely angry or something. I can't read them at all.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I get a sign, and I can hear and I can feel, and it's weird. But I credit her for that. I'm able to do that a little bit.
Have you ever tried looking at auras?
No.
Okay,
No.
so it's actually kind of simple to start off learning how to do this.
Okay.
So you take a white background, so like a poster paper or something, and you hold up your hand to that poster paper and you look at your fingers. Eventually, your eyes are going to pick it up, and you're going to see what almost looks like heat wave shimmer on like that mirage that you get on a hot road. Yeah, you're gonna see something like that around your hand, and you're gonna be able to see your own aura.
Really? Does it matter what color the paper is?
It's easiest to train on white.
Okay.
So you put your hand up and you just stare at your hand for a little bit, and you're gonna be able to see it. And then if you really want to play around, go into a public place like a mall, go sit on a bench and people watch. And, don't make it obvious like you're some creeper, but just like stare at the back of someone's head, and you're going to be able to see this aura. Some people's are bigger than others. And, like JJ says, you can kind of reach in and you can see how they're feeling. And you can, like you're saying, know things about them without them having to tell you.
That's interesting. So I can pick up certain people.
Yeah.
Just not everybody. And I think it's a matter of practice.
I bet you if you could see their aura, you're going to see like the open ones are going to have this big aura around them, and the closed off ones are going to be real tight.
Yeah. I definitely. Can you see colors on the aura?
I'm not that good.
Okay. Yeah, I remember a story from Edgar Casey. I've actually said this before. He's called the Sleeping Prophet.
Yes, I'm aware of Edgar Casey.
Okay, great. One of the stories early on, how he became aware of his abilities, he was in a tall building doing some business. I'm not sure what. And he was done. He was heading to the elevator. And as the elevator opened, he saw the people in there. Some of the people that were going in, he saw their aura. All of their aura was black. So he decided not to get in that elevator. And it was a good thing he didn't, because the elevator snapped cable and fell, and all the people in there fell to their death. Yeah. And so at that point, he started realizing he had something, like he could see things that other people didn't see. He thought was normal, but wasn't. So, yeah, dude, I'm fascinated by all that stuff. And she, like, let me ask you this before we get into the 6 questions here. Bubbling up. You've heard this, right? The bubble up.
Bubble up, Buttercup.
I can't wrap my brain around this. In the whole pipe in the back and the thing and the energy out and all this. And I try to put my mind, or like, I'm trying to understand this. I'm trying to see it, and I can't. I just can't.
Some people cannot get the visual, but they can still do it.
Yeah, but if you can't see it, how do you know you're actually doing it? That's what bothers me.
Power of belief.
Power of belief.
So before I met JJ, I'd say I already had come to my own conclusions about how to properly ground myself. I never had a problem with doing that.
Okay.
And I always gave my own little quirk about how to do that. And I'd just imagine my feet were becoming like tree roots, tapping into the ground. And you can almost feel energy from the earth coming up your legs.
Oh, wow.
And it kind of recharges you. It feels.
Well, science definitely backs that up.
Yes. Grounding is a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, we are electrical beings. And actually the electrical system that works in your body works off of UV light. So when you're doing cell metabolism and the way your nerves communicate, it's through light.
Oh, wow, dude.
Yeah. It gets deep. This is deep. We can go deeper down the rabbit hole one day.
You're definitely going to go deeper down the rabbit hole, that's for sure. I'm going to have you on that, man. I'm very impressed by you. You seem very young, and yet you have that older soul to you, which I like. I like that. I like people who have been around the block.
Edgar Casey, he did a lot of past life regression. Have you ever tried to do a past life regression?
I have, but it was unsuccessful. But I have tried. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have done it, and I've came across more than one lifetime. I mean, that is a wild experience.
Oh, I'm sure.
That is a wild experience, and it can happen so quickly. It's like kind of like a kaleidoscope of scenes where you're looking at one thing and it just keeps blending into more, like it's constantly shifting, but you're getting all this knowledge at the same time. Like, it's a really wild experience.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I did it with someone who was doing, as a matter of fact, episode 6 with a gentleman named Jonathan. He's a licensed hypnotherapist who specializes in past life regression. But we did online, and I was like, can you do it online, man? And he was like, oh yeah. But I feel like you need to be in person, and I think that's probably a better
I have
experience.
a feeling that you're getting yourself in your own way.
Probably because I was like, I so wanted to do it, man. I was like, yes, dude. Okay, let's do it. And I was like, because he was like, they talk to you and it's really calming and relaxing. So I was able to get to a theta state. There was no doubt about that.
Sure.
And he's asking me these questions, and I'm trying to answer him, but I'm realizing that, hey, wait a minute, I'm not anywhere. I'm just telling him, okay, this is what I see, but I'm not hypnotized, bro. I'm not hypnotized. But I was very disappointed. I really wanted to see and experience and get something out of it, but I really didn't. And maybe I did get in my own way. It's possible. It's very possible. But I did not.
Maybe you just weren't meant for it at that time.
Maybe, man.
Because I like my friend getting in my way of astral projecting before. I wasn't ready then.
Yeah.
But I can kind of do it now. if I try.
That's cool, man.
It's not
Well,
something that I mess around with a lot. But yeah, with the past life regression stuff, sometimes you don't see things that are pleasant. Like it's not all cakes and pies. Oh, I was Caesar in past life.
yeah.
Like sometimes you see some pretty rough stuff.
Have you read Journey of Souls?
I have not read Journey of Souls,
Look it
but
up.
I have read Edgar Casey's book on past lives.
Oh shit! I didn't even know he had a book. I have a couple of books of his.
So many books.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna have to look that up.
I did On Atlantis. That one was
Mhm.
really cool.
Yeah, he was a fascinating guy.
Yeah.
I'm really fascinated by that. That one guy is just incredible. How he can get to the Akashi records, how he can heal people
Yeah.
at a time where people would get sick and the doctors didn't know how to patch them up. He could cure them. So amazing. All right, Chucky, I have something here I call the 6 questions, sir, and
Hit me with
this
them.
is the 6 questions Chucky Danger style. Ready?
Let's do it.
All right, big dog. Here's one. I'm going to ask you number 1. Where do you see yourself in 2031?
2031.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. As long as we don't have a nuclear apocalypse, I see myself having a new house and fresh start at a family again.
Cool, man. Yeah.
And lots of success. Continued journey on exploring my curiosity, because like I'm always looking into researching mythology and spirituality and cryptids and like everything.
Yeah.
Anything I find interesting, I'll just dive right into that.
Bro, you're me, man. I mean, I like the way you think. Number 2, sir. You get to ask the creator one question about anything. What would it be?
Oh, one question.
Yes.
Why the hardship?
Yeah, dude. Why the hardship indeed? That's a good one.
Yeah.
What do you think you would say?
Well, I mean, probably you can have steel, but it'll be weak.
Mm-hmm.
But if you forge it in the fire, it becomes a lot stronger.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably something along those lines.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that you're not the first person to come up with that kind of question. As a matter of fact, Chuck, let me tell you this, and this is weird. Just not this past Thursday, but the week before, I did a show with Peculiar Pairings. It's a podcast. Great people. Matt asked this question: why childhood leukemia?
Yeah.
And you've, man, crazy. I just remembered that. So that was a genius question. Why that? And I understand what you're saying. You have to forge in the fire, right? You have to go through the hardship in order to come out the other way.
Stronger.
I've always thought,
some of us are put here to be part of that hardship, whether that means a loss, like losing a best friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard and you miss them every day, but you realize the value of love because of that loss.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can go day to day and just have like your buddies right beside you and you can think nothing of it. But until you lose them, it doesn't hit the same way.
Yeah.
You're neglectful of what you really have.
In that sense, if you just continue on, it's just like you never really learned anything from it
Yeah.
until something like that happens. Interesting. All right. Number 3, sir. How do you want to die?
Peacefully in my sleep.
Yes. Second part of that question, how do you think you'll die?
How do I think I'll die?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've had a lot of close calls over the years
Mm-hmm.
where whether or not it's like a car accident that could have gone wrong or if it's almost an accident while hunting kind of thing. I don't know.
Quantum immortality. Have you ever heard of that?
Quantum immortality, like loading up your consciousness into like a computer.
No, it's the idea, like you just mentioned many different ways you could have died.
Okay.
Right.
Oh yeah, like you did die in that.
You did,
but you stay alive in this one.
Right. So you
just
did
shift,
die.
You just shift into the new one. Yeah.
So I've had a couple of experiences like that where I'm pretty sure
may or may not explain Mandela effect.
Right. There's a lot to this. That's another topic I want to cover on deeper down. So, all right, go back to our thingy here. Number 4, sir. What is the strangest paranormal experience you've ever had? Or if we've already discussed that, what's the strangest moment of your life? So you can either answer one of those.
Okay. I had a severe haunting when I was 14, 15.
Ooh, do tell.
Where my great-grandmother told me stories about how she was haunted as a little girl, and her sister used to play this game where they'd try to stay up at night and wait for the white lady to come in and tuck them into bed.
Oh.
And they would always try to see who was braver, who could keep out from the covers longest, kind of thing. And so she would tell me these stories when I was really little. And then I started to see a white lady in my room.
Oh.
And so I'm like, at first, I was surprised and excited. I'm like, this is like what Grandma saw. And I was like, I'm seeing a flipping ghost in my room. But it was like a full body apparition, right? It's not just like a little bit. It was like a blonde lady, a white Victorian like dress with like flower doilies on it and stuff. Cool. And her dress is draped below her feet, so that like she's gliding across the room, but her dress is kind of draping back.
You can't really see her feet at all or anything like that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What did she do? She tuck you in?
She drifted straight out the wall. But then this happened nightly, where she would come into my room pretty well for a summer. So like 3 months-ish, where she would come into my room all the time. I can remember I was reading Lord of the Rings at the time, so I was a night owl, staying up late, reading my book while listening to Rammstein. I thought it was the perfect soundtrack for reading a novel like that. Because I don't understand any German, so I'm not getting distracted by the lyrics, but it's good background noise.
Good music, yeah.
And then she starts showing up in my room, and it would freak me out, and like the temperature would just drop in the room.
Wow.
Like this is summertime and it's getting ice cold.
Damn, son.
And I would reach for my lamp above my headboard there. And whenever I would reach for the light, I'd get this blizzard cold wind that would blow in my room, just like. And
no windows open?
No, and it was intimidating. And so you'd hide under the covers and you'd just wait for it to go away, or you'd pass out from fright. um,
Did you ever tell
and
your grandmother or anybody?
my great grandmother had died by then.
Okay.
I told my mother about it, and she told me to command it to leave in the name of Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Because like I had just gone through a bit of a personal rebellion where I stopped going to church, and this is when this popped off. And so I wasn't really feeling super religious about it.
Yeah.
And it escalated. Like she kept coming into my room. Eventually she stood at the end of my bed. She sat on the end of my bed. You could feel the depression when she sat on the mattress. And she just got more and more freaky, where like I'd be in my bed, I'd hide under the covers, and then you can feel someone stand on the end of the bed, and like where your legs are, you feel a foot on either side. So like you feel like you can't move anywhere because this thing's got you trapped, and that feeling of being watched. But you're so scared that you just can't come out from the covers, and eventually she'll go away. Like I found that she would be in my room from midnight till 3 a.m, kind of thing, anywhere in that range.
Dude. I mean, I can hear it in your voice. You're actually going back to that moment and what you felt, and that's crazy, man. That is crazy. Is that a house you grew up in, or do your parents still own that house?
Yeah. Okay. So they've turned my bedroom into the dining room now. But
okay,
yeah, she would get very aggressive, and one night she actually showed me her true face.
Oh shit.
So this thing, I don't want to say demonic, but I'm gonna say demonic.
Like, how did it look? Like, what gave it that
look? Okay, so before the final confrontation,
yeah,
like I had friends over during the summer, and one of them saw her, and the other one felt the cold wind. So I wasn't the only one that experienced this. And my little brother saw her after I had moved away from home.
Okay.
But I was in my room. She came in. I hid under my covers, and so I got them tucked up around my head. And right beside my face, 2 fists on the bed, right by my head, where it leaned down, and you could just feel like it was just like inches away from you, just glaring. I'm like, okay, this thing needs to go. So I told my mom one more time, I'm like, I need this thing to get away. Like, your prayers aren't making this thing leave.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
And she's like, you need to rebuke it in the name of Jesus. And
so you did.
Well, this thing comes back into my room one last time. And it was like the very first time at first, where it came through my door, and it glided across the room, and then it goes out the wall beside my bed. And I'm like, okay, you need to leave. You're not allowed to be here. Go away. There was nothing for like a couple seconds, and then all of a sudden I see the back of a head enter the wall from below the window. So it comes out of the wall. I see black hair this time, not blonde. And it looks wet, and it's like just hanging down because it's like a sideways head. And then it's turning around, and it shows me its face.
Ooh.
And it had these laser dot eyes that were just like bright red. Its face was like void, like you were looking into infinity nothing.
Wow.
And then this big, wide Cheshire cat smile of these really long, narrow needle teeth.
Damn, son.
It was creepy as hell.
How did you react to it?
I rebuked it in the name of Jesus.
And did it leave after that?
It pulled its head right back out the wall, and I never saw it again.
Oh man, that's cool. That's cool. What a trip, bro.
But that was
That's
the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Holy shit. That's awesome. That's probably one of the best stories I've heard in a long time. I should have started with that paranormal story. That was awesome. I might use that in another way. Number 5, sir. What's the scariest or weirdest dream you've ever had?
Oh, geez. Well, now that I know JJ, I get weird dreams all the time.
Oh, dude, is she visiting you in your sleep? Oh my god, she wouldn't do that.
We've had dreams where we've collabed.
She said she's had dreams
as well as with other people. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in her dreams.
Other people that I know that I've never met in dreams.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a thing called Dream School where I don't know what we're learning, but we're going there and we're learning stuff. I think. Okay, so the way she says it, we have a lower self, we have our present self, and we have got a higher self.
Mm.
And I think the higher stuff knows a lot more than what we know. And I made up my own saying for trying to understand this. And that is, we are both the master and the apprentice at the same time. It just matters on who you try to embrace.
Okay.
So I think in these dreams, we're learning things and we're working through problems and finding solutions, and then you apply it in your real life.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
There's actually a book that talks about this hidden school, kind of in a different way, but kind of in the same way. It's by Dan Millman, and it's Way of the Peaceful Warrior.
I've heard of that book.
It's a trilogy, and it's really good.
All right, yeah, I'll take a look at that, man. Thanks for you're giving me a lot of information to run down. I like that. That's awesome.
Encyclopedia of useless knowledge.
So did you have a scary dream that you remember, or like a weird one, or?
Oh, scary dreams.
Yeah.
I have this tendency where if I start getting a nightmare and I don't like it, I can wake myself up.
What?
Yeah. So it's kind of annoying because you'll wake up at like 3 a.m. But yeah, if I start
dream control.
If I start having a scary dream, I'll wake myself up.
That's cool. All right. Sweet. Okay.
Usually it's just profound or weird ones. And getting in touch with psychic folk, you realize that some people have some really good talents, like dream interpretation, where you might discard your dream because it seems so absurd. And then they tell you the lesson that's in your dream that you're not even seeing, because we are a community of people and we work as a community, and sometimes you need the other angle in order to see what's happening.
Excellently. Yeah, that's the best way to say it. I always like to say, when you're inside, like you're in the house and you can't see what's going on, you have to see it from the outside. You have to look in a window. So it's like sometimes that's why it's important to have other people come in and take a look.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's exactly the way I agree to that. I totally understand what you're saying there. All right, sir.
Yep. Go ahead. Shoot.
No, go ahead. So what were you saying?
I was going to say, even biblically, nobody could interpret their own dreams. They always needed an outside source to help interpret dreams.
Yes. That's fascinating, man. All right, so number 6, the final question. Chucky Danger, who the fuck do you think you are?
I have thought about that a lot, and I think I am here for a reason, and I'm not entirely sure of the reason, but I think the mission of being here and why I have not died in all those close calls is I'm here to shed light on this world and bring awareness to things other people might not even be considering. and shed positivity on darkness.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of negative views on things, and sometimes people can ignore that when it's actually something positive.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like you're a light in the darkness. That's what I get from you. You're a
If I could try to be something, it would be a lighthouse in the dark.
yeah. And not everything is negative, man. Right? And not everything is negative.
Not. It's
Yeah.
not.
And it's easy to fall into that realm of everyone else says this about this, so it must be bad, right? So
yes,
that's a good thing to be, man. I like that. Well, Chucky Danger, sir, thank you so much for joining me, man. I really appreciate it.
This is a fun chat.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I didn't know what to expect because you and I have never spoken before, and I've heard of you. I don't know if you heard of me.
I've heard a lot about you, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. And dude, I'm so glad JJ told me to reach out to you. And then, you know, of course, we were trying to get this other episode done. We couldn't get there, but this was worth it. So thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you joining me. Can you let everyone know where they can find your podcast? Even though you're on a hiatus, they can still go and listen to your episodes.
Yeah. So you can find my episodes on Spotify. That is The Danger Zone with Chucky Danger. You'll see my silhouette, a UV flashlight, and a Sasquatch footprint as the logo.
Nice. All right, guys, definitely go check him out. Give him a 5-star. Go ahead and like. Are you on YouTube at all?
I'm not on YouTube yet. I have a previous podcast that I was on that's called the Countercult Podcast. So I did that with a couple friends. I've also done like, I don't know, 50, 70 interviews. And I got my Instagram page where I kind of show you some of this UV stuff that I talk about.
Okay, cool.
I'll show you like my research. I'll repost anything that is in the vein of that. Okay. I also, like you said, I love nature, and I'm constantly out. Bird watching is like one of my new hobbies, and I'm always out trying to find new species for my Merlin app. So,
all right. Well, thank you so much again for joining me, sir. It was great. We definitely have to do this again. I'm definitely putting you in one of the, if not two, of the deeper down the rabbit hole discussions with the paranormal panel. So thanks again, man. I appreciate it. And if it's interesting to you, then go down the rabbit hole. Thanks, everybody. 5 stars, everybody.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
They said the truth was buried deep in files they tried to burn. David's on the mic now, it's the people's turn. From shadow men in black to creatures in the mist, he's cracking open secrets that the government dismissed. Spooky lights above us, he's tracking every blink. Aliens, cryptids, yeah, he's making you think. With a journal full of clues and a wild-eyed hunch, he's talking ghost towns, lost time, Bigfoot's lunch. Old Dayvid don't know, but he's looking for the code on a long dark road where the weird ones go. Mics stay hot when the stories unfold, digging through the static for the truth untold. From pyramids on Mars to sounds in the night, he's chasing after whispers just beyond the light. Tinfoil hat, nah, it's a crown for the bold. Turn the dial up, these tales don't grow.